Hey guys, welcome back to Intuitive Tennis 24/7. In today's video, I'm going to talk about my favorite player of all time. Who may that be? But take a look here. It's Rafa. A lot of you guys know that Rafa is my favorite tennis player of all time, but a lot of you guys are confused why a Croatian guy who grew up in Germany likes a Spanish guy so much. I'm going to explain all that in my tribute video when Rafa retires. I am planning to make a tribute video similar to the one I made about Federer, because those two guys are so important to tennis, and I'm gonna clarify all that in that video. And the tribute video might be coming pretty soon. The title of this video that you're watching right now is Rafa done? And I hate to say it, but the end is near. I think mentally he's still there. He's the ultimate fighter. He had a phenomenal 2022. He won 2 slams. He was in the semifinals of Wimbledon. But we got to see for the first time how severe the injuries are that he's suffering from, the ordeal that he has to go through so that he can play. And I don't think he can withstand that torment on his body for much longer. I'm definitely going to say that he's going to play 2023. I think that's pretty safe. But 2024, let's face it, it's up in the air. I've even heard Rafa say that 2023 might be his last year. So I think 2024 is a big question mark. I do think though that he's going to continue to play extremely well, especially when it comes to the clay court season. He's got a legitimate chance of winning another French Open. I mean, it hasn't been that long since he's won majors. It's been literally this year. He won 2 majors and he was in the semifinals of Wimbledon. So he still has the level. And even in the last match at the World Tour Finals, he beat Ruud, who was in the final of the tournament. He beat him in straight sets. So the level is still there. And it's just a question mark of how much longer can his body withstand the way he plays. Because let's face it, his style, the way he runs, it is prone to injuries. I've never seen a player fight the way Rafa fights. That's why I love him so much. He could be down 5-love, 40-love, and he's going to run down or attempt to run down the most difficult drop shot, the most difficult on the run shots. That's the type of player he is. He's the ultimate fighter, but unfortunately that comes at a cost. So it's going to be interesting to see how he plays in 2023. I don't believe that he can win the Australian Open, even though I want him to really badly. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't think he would have won the Australian Open in 2022 if Djokovic would have played. I do think that Djokovic would have won 3 Grand Slams if he was allowed to play the US Open and the Australian Open. So I think Rafa, there's 1 Grand Slam title that you can put an asterisk behind out of all of his Grand Slam titles, was the 2022 Australian Open. Not to take anything away from it, but I'm honest enough as a Rafa fan to admit that on hard court at the Australian Open against Djokovic, it is a tough ask for Rafa. I mean, he can do it. He's definitely capable of doing it, but I don't think it would have happened in 2022. So, in my opinion, the biggest chance that Rafa has to continue to add to his Grand Slam total are the French Open, obviously. And I do think even against Djokovic, he's got a good chance to win, even in 2023, even with the amount of injuries that he has. And now this is going to surprise you guys, but I do think that Rafa is one of the best grass court players of all time, and I do think he still has a legitimate chance to win Wimbledon. He was very close a bunch of times. He was close last year, and I do think because of the softer surface, he can play good on grass. So I hope that Rafa can do another great Wimbledon next year on hard court. The way he was playing at the US Open, the way he was playing in Paris, the way he was playing at the World Tour Finals, I'm not too hopeful, but one thing about Rafa, you can never count him out. And I'm excited for 2023, but I do think the end is unfortunately near. I mean, guys, how much longer can he keep this up? Playing this type of tennis, fighting for every ball, killing himself out there. It is not sustainable forever, and the end eventually has to come. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, the quarterfinal match in Wimbledon, when he was playing under so much pain and his entire box was begging him to stop, but Rafa wouldn't stop. He ended up winning that match. I was actually on the side of his family, and I was asking myself, Rafa, why are you doing it to yourself? Why are you destroying your body? Why are you killing yourself out there? Just stop, dude. I know you want to win really bad, but your health has to come first. So Rafa's health has to come first, and I'm here for the ride. I've been there the whole time since the very early beginning, and I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna keep cheering. So Rafa is not quite done yet, but I do think the end is very near.